now I recall they tore it down. When they tore down a bunch of stuff here.
Ah, see, this is the other one I had in my head was Admiralty Way.
That's the one Philip looked at.
And they determined that it's not the same rules. Now, do we have a clip from this leg? Same from the ad. We're
Remember that was a gas station.
Yeah. It was, and then it was vacant for a very long time, just sat there.
Yeah.
And of course, these apartments weren't here at the time, obviously.
I'm 100%
They're not finished yet.
I thought Planned Parenthood
House.
They've been gradually putting this stuff in.
Little at a time.
That's right, yeah. The rest of it, it's a 2.5-minute thing, except for that 10 seconds there. Twitter's fine with it. And the reason is this idea we stop the sale of baby
Wow, the driveway down to the house there. I never noticed that.
This is based on, we've been going round and round on this stuff, John.
I remember one of the reasons coming this way instead of taking 99 or I-5.
It's a park.
Released the secretly filmed stuff.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Lake Stickney Park.
About the legitimacy of that, because it was headlined as look at this, Planned Parenthood is selling baby parts, profiting off of baby. That's right. And they had 13
I've always known there was a park, but I didn't know there was ever a place to sit.
Did investigations, and they never found any
Oh, interesting,
any actual sales.
The lake's out that way, someplace.
The guy who did the videotape, because he was misrepresenting himself.
Can't see any paths or anything. Hey,
So
need to
Twitter
notice
says that
a park now,
false.
that
You
they
can't
actually
say
placed
that because there wasn't any. You didn't.
Seems like it might be a meeting place for
there weren't any sale of baby body parts.
illicit encounters.
And you take that out, we will boost.
Well,
Because there are no, there's no paths or...
announces they will no longer be reimbursed for the cost of providing tissue to medical research centers. So they basically have
interesting.
to grilled for 5 different committees, hours and hours on end. They said, okay,
Yeah,
so
there's-
we're going to make it really simple.
There's
We
nothing.
won't take money.
It's a dog walking park. I can understand that part of it too.
Off leash area, I guess.
When we get a
I don't know where it is. Can't
from
see
one
it.
of these
Okay.
labs
Good
to-
deal.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sign about where it is.
Buy those things from you.
That's what I'm saying, man. This is Lover's Park is what that is.
Gay park.
It's kind of cool, but that's what it is.
You know what? Not actually at all. We won't be reimbursed. There'll be no exchange of cash for body parts. So what she is claiming, what Marsha...
There's more. What the hell? There's more Lake Stickney Community Park right there, it said.
I saw.
I don't know exactly what's going on there.
We won on that.
But I kind of like it.
Kim
It's no longer to be reimbursed. We won. They're not getting body parts paid for.
Well, we're talking about.
Well, all this time we drive down this street, we never paid attention to what's over on this side, and that's go down that road. That's where Lake Stickney Road. But the lake is right here.
Jefferson Way, yeah.
I remember Steve when he lived next to Philip would talk about going over to the lake, and I never saw it.
Well, for good reason. A lot of brush and trees.
Never any exchange of money for any tissue or body parts or whatever you want to call them. It wasn't happening. Just because it's a political PR issue, say, listen, we're going to announce this is official. We're not even going to charge for fees doing the procedure. They're not selling the body.
None of this shit was here 20 years ago.
One house it was.
Yeah.
Now, there's 2 houses. That street, you can tell where the older
Up
streets.
to there wasn't though.
There's an older house.
That's pretty crazy.
I like that yard.
To make sure I get it intact.
Does this go up to high school, right?
It goes past the junior high.
So now, at this point, Black Widow is basically going back where she's on Fox and isn't terrible.
None of that was there. None of that was there
That
10
house
years
was there.
ago, 5 years ago.
These houses were all here. It's interesting, 3 or 4 houses, but the one on the corner wasn't.
This was.
Well, I understand.
This wasn't here.
Nice new junior high school. No, it's elementary.
Man, it makes me want to be a little kid
Well,
again to go to schools
if
like
there
that.
was an elementary school there, it's just they've completely replaced it. They put a brand new one in.
That makes you want to be a little kid again. You don't have any reason to complain. You get to go to schools like that.
Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's harder for kids. Every generation is harder for kids,
Yeah.
but every generation is easier.
Yeah. You have the tools that make it easier.
Bullies aren't allowed to get away with shit. They might bully you one time, But if you say something about it, that kid's going to be in trouble. You're not allowed to fucking hurt people anymore.
It's called Madison Way here. It used to be Jefferson.
You're not allowed to. Teachers aren't allowed to beat children or torment them anymore. They do, and if they got, and every time they do something one time, they get caught and they get in some real trouble.
We've gone in complete circle.
Yeah. I remember how it was when we were kids, and I've listened to what kids had to say, and like Henrik, he got a little bit of bullying. What's funny is that it ended as fast as it started, but he never made good friends either. He was one of those kids that had trouble with people. But that's because of his odd personality. And a lot of that's the thing is brand new.
Madison
It's
Way.
Candlewood as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, that's what they will be.
And when it's this isolated this far from the street, it's ridiculous. Apartments need to be right next to businesses, not isolated in the middle of the neighborhood.
Well, they're probably planning something like that.
Well, it's actually not that far to the store from here, but it's
No.
at least a mile.
Nice little walk. And that's the thing, it is a nice little walk.
It is a nice little walk.
It's not,
But it's also, they don't have sidewalks on both sides of the street.
no, you got a pretty good sidewalk here, pretty good walking area.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll only be bad at night. Check this place. I like these buildings, these ultra modern ones. Ashway, okay, I know where we are. I didn't know Ashway looked like this now. Those are actually the coolest apartments I've seen. Condominiums. You know, our apartments are pretty much like the little houses they're showing nowadays. Everybody has little houses. Already got a little apartment.
Yeah, exactly. Don't need a little house, already got a little.
Well, I wouldn't mind having a little house
Yeah.
about the size of my apartment. I would make the kitchen smaller, and I would make the bedroom smaller. But otherwise,
There's occasionally in the economy this team had lost to that team in this round, and this team could have won the whole thing.
and interestingly enough, I remember Dad saying he'd never buy another house on the corner. He hated living on the corner growing up. Hated really, and of course the Clifton house they hated because. But I like living on the corner.
You know, it's
I don't have a
there's something for both sides. You know.
Well, if you
Something
live on the
for
corner,
both
you can
sides.
have two different views of your house, whereas you live in the middle of the block, they just see that one part.
Yeah.
You could have two complete different sides. You have one side with a bunch of crazy colors, and the other side really traditional, with the guy with the ring.
Yep.
And some pink flamingos. I wonder, would anybody get mad if you put flamingos in your yard, but they weren't green, pink, they were green? Why you got green or why is it this?
I mean, riding my ass.
Why does he need to go so fast when he's supposed to be going 30 miles an hour?
That's exactly what I'm doing, 30 miles an hour.
What's wrong with people like that? If it's an emergency, he should have already called the police. Otherwise, he's being aggressive.
Well, there's a
and
way
he's breaking the law.
You could have gone over to I-5 somewhere along the way, or another
He's
highway.
being aggressive, and it's
Faster
against the law to do that.
Yeah.
Some more of these, they don't have closed.
Interesting. I like that. They just have a balcony. I like the balcony thing.
Yeah, so do I.
The only reason I don't like the corner is because we don't have a big backyard, which
Yeah, I agree
a
with
lot of
that.
the other houses do along the way there.
Like a lot, I don't mind the idea of having a larger backyard or front yard.
But backyard, I mean, that would mean taking care of it too, which isn't a lot of trouble, but it can be.
Be enough.
How often do you choose off? Don't go there once in 14 days. I had to get up and put the right house.
Interesting.
I really want to call him back because my long night's there. And I want to cause any kind of jealousy or something like that. So basically first time. I'm first time doing
It's fun stuff how the roads go. East Gibson Road, huh?
I named him Donald Jr. What did your Donald say at that point?
Park Ridge. Oh, Park Ridge. Park Ridge.
In a Park Ridge in a paratrooper. Well, it's different.
Was watching Ed Sullivan, and this guy played organ, and he played Girl from Ipanema. It's weird because he kept on looking at the bass player, and they kept on looking at each other. I'm wondering, maybe they were just like, we're on fucking Ed Sullivan. And then next to the end of the show, they brought this guy, Bob Gibson, guitar player, on. He sat down, started playing the rhythm part of the song, the chords, and just when he was getting ready to go to the lead, they ended the song. Before any solos or anything, it's like they did about 20 seconds of the song, then they stopped and went to the commercial. It was like, but then they had Pearl Bailey sing. And it was Bob Gibson's black guy I've never heard of. He was on Ed Sullivan. I've never heard of him. And he's a jazz guitar player. I've never heard of him. And he's obviously famous enough to get on Ed Sullivan in 1966.
I want to go ahead and get lunch while I'm out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I want to do a drive-through. And then again, Dickie's barbecue pit. Now.
Too bad I had a great Ivana story.
Yes?
Because I'd interviewed her.
Well, then we need to hear it.
Well, some point.
Okay.
Maybe
A good salad would be great.
Next. We have next. Harvey Weinstein, John. Oh, not a problem. Yeah. Hillary's come out and she's now said no, he's a bad person.
We got everybody in every.
Wendy's taco salad would be okay, but for something more like
his tutelage.
All coming forward. Yeah, all right.
This is confirmation of everything I've been telling you. The Dory Monson Show. Next at noon. How they want to turn every road in the. That's one of the world.
If you head eastbound on the West Seattle
Place to get.
side, this traffic report is brought to you by
Everett-Snohomish. Check it out. 30 weight loss for life. And seriously weight loss for life. 30weightlossforlife.com or 855-843.
Any place you want to go in particular?
No, not really.
Do it today. It works. I know. I'm so happy.
We had teriyaki the other day. So,
Had tacos.
we had the burritos. You went to Jack in the Box recently. Otherwise, we would do that one.
Anything that you think is okay with me, pretty much. Well, the parking lot isn't full.
It's kind of
Less kids driving to school these days.
I'm thinking that it's a lot more common to be driving to school than walking to school nowadays when you're in high school.
That's what I thought. With the exception of our neighborhood.
Yeah, when you're close enough, you can walk.
Now, it isn't all spread out like it is here.
Yeah.
That girl, she grew up, where did she live around downtown? Where she?
Right over by Safeway on
Oh, that's
West
right,
Street.
on 40, by 41st Street.
She started in the projects, and then they moved over to the place on High Street.
So still, that's a long walk to high school. That's more than a mile.
I don't know where she lived at that point. Maybe I'll have to find out.
But that's a long walk if she lived at 41st Street.
Yeah, that would be a long walk.
But there's lots of people that walked miles to school. Well, if you live a couple miles from school, a lot of people do that. That's not a long walk.
It's a pretty long walk.
I mean, not if you're really cold, it is. If you need to go to the bathroom, it is. It's a good, healthy walk, though.
I had a video that I was getting ready to watch today. It shows how to make sushi.
Oh.
It's from BuzzFeed or something like that.
Probably a lot like making burritos.
Yeah.
Just learning how to roll the rice. Matter of fact, I think one time Pivy made sushi. A lot of people would, a lot of times you just don't realize how lucky you are when you date a girl that can actually cook.
Yeah.
Cook better than mom. Cook better than almost anybody. I've lived with cooks before, and none of them could cook like Pivy. But she also had such good taste in things.
Yeah. That truck just ran a red light.
Yeah. We saw it's number 2.
I wouldn't mind stopping, I guess.
Okay.
Of course, we could go in the mall. Bunch of choices there.
Yeah. Your Panera bread.
Panera, yeah. I wondered about that.
Good. Well, almost everything you eat, it's going to taste good. That's fast food.
Yeah.
There's no crappy tasting fast food because they couldn't be in business.
We can go to Panera and see what it's like.
I know they talk about clean food. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. V-Star Buffet. Used to be what you would call it. Jerry Endel's Ranch.
Yep.
We went there
For a long time.
Coastal's Christmas dinner there one time.
Yeah.
And if you ordered the barbecued ribs, they'd come up behind you and sneak up behind you and put a bib on you. It was worth it.
I don't know if there's any road that goes through all the way except for Clear Pier.
I don't know. There is one. I don't know if there's one that goes through. I know there's a couple that go across, but I don't know if there's any that go east and west here.
I don't know what would stop. Is there a lake in there?
Not that I know of. Okay, this one isn't a dead end.
Not a dead end. I don't think any of them.
I don't think any of them go through.
Dead end. Dead end. Dead end. Dead end. No outlet. Wow. Why don't you just say dead end? Damn it.
Those are all cul-de-sacs.
All the rest of them say dead end. I'm wondering what's going on there. What happens after you get to the dead end? Is it just a green belt, or is there a creek running through? That might be what it is.
Green belt is what it is. So I remember when they started building up here, out in this area.
Of course, Heaven Sent, I've thought about that. I would go to eat at a place called Heaven Sent. Probably not.
Heaven Sent fried chicken.
Is that what it is, fried chicken?
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I have a feeling it has some kind of religious connotation. And it does for me just hearing the name. So, well, I cut all that stuff down, the forest stuff that used to be there. And I still remember picking Michelle up after work. And I got off at 3:30 at Precision, and Michelle didn't get off until 5. And I didn't want to go all the way home because it wasted a lot of gas, so I
He's out of the way.
drove around for a little bit. No, first of all, I went over here to the place and was going to have beer. I had a few beers. I'm trying to remember the name of the club there. To Buzzies.
Oh, right, Foxy's.
And I was sitting there, and Mike Hudon sat down next to me. He's one of the bosses at Precision. And he started talking about this dumb girl he was dating and how stupid she was and everything. And it's like he didn't know that I knew who he was talking about.
Oh.
You know, which was a little bit. So I mean, he bought me a beer, which was really nice. So I took off and was driving around. I was driving down that street over there, and a girl came from behind the fence there, and she couldn't have been more than, well, I don't know when girls first do this kind of stuff, but she came up from behind the fence and flashed me. I was driving that fucking red truck, and then she dives back behind the fence. It was hilarious.
Getting flashed by a girl.
Yeah. I'm trying, I mean, she might have been 17, but she might have been 15. She might have been, I don't know.
Reminds me of that Tom, what's his name, Flasher Boot Friday thing.
Yeah. Oh, Panera has a drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, so. So you have to go around and come through? Okay. The little drive is a little weird, but okay. Do it one more time. The line seems to be moving fairly quickly, so. I have to say, I like the old Jeep.
Oh, the other one. 2 of these old military World War II era vehicles.
That is cool as shit. Merle Skelly. It seems like it's a fairly popular little place here.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'd heard of it before.
Well, they do run a lot of ads.
Yeah.
And people are health conscious that didn't used to be. menus up here.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just looking now. Ooh, that does look good. Mac and cheese with the... Let's go for it. What is today's Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Panera Bread. What can I get there Tuesday?
You know, I'm looking. I think I'm going to get.
Can't read it.
I want a good salad. What do you suggest?
I would say the Southwest or the Green Cottage. They have like more proteins and more things in them. So like if you want like a Philly sandwich, then those two will be like a good sandwich for you.
I want something that doesn't.
I mean, not the sandwich, the salad.
Yeah. You know, do you have a Caesar salad? I see that. Is it a pretty good salad?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Let me go ahead and get a large Caesar salad.
Did you want any chicken on there or no?
Yes, please.
Alright. Okay.
I'm gonna get the salad.
And
Did you want is a piece of bread that comes on the side, or did you want apple or chips?
The bread, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
You know, that mac and cheese looks delicious. What's the small cost? Is that $5 for a small?
Yeah, $5.90 for a small one.
How much do I have so far on the cost?
$9.31.
Let me go ahead and get a small bowl of mac and cheese also.
So small mac and cheese, and it comes with also a side of bread. Did you want that, or did you want apple or cheese?
Yeah, go ahead with the bread on that also.
All right.
And then I want something to drink.
We got salad drinks, we got coffee, bubbler drinks, iced tea, espresso drinks, smoothies, frozen drinks.
You have smoothies?
Yeah, we have smoothies.
Let me get a small strawberry smoothie.
Just strawberry?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for you, sir?
That's one order. We got one more order. Can we get that?
Yeah, so 2 separate orders?
Yes, please.
All right, the first one's going to be 2004.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I'd like the Southwest salad.
The full size or half?
Yes, full size.
All right.
And I'd like the frozen mocha.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
$16.76.
It's expensive. Someone told me this place was expensive. That's
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
it's okay though. It's okay.
What'd you say?
I said it's expensive,
Yeah, it is.
but they say it's good. So,
Yeah. This could be my lunch and dinner today for sure.
well, I've got plenty of food at home.
Oh, I do too. But nice to have something like this too.
I made very sure I bought lots of canned food this month. All kinds of stuff.
I'm supposed to get to it here.
Interesting where they put the watermark on the $10
Hi,
bill.
so we got 2 orders in this car.
Yeah.
All right, so I got the first one with a full chicken Caesar and the French baguette with a small mac and cheese and another French baguette with a strawberry smoothie. It's going to be $20.04 for that one. And then did you have a My Panera Rewards card with you today?
I'm sorry?
Did you have a My Panera Rewards card with you today?
No, well.
Okay, that's okay.
There's 104 and there's 19.
Okay.
I don't know how much it costs to deliver it.
20.05, so I'll get that
All
back.
right. You could have kept it. Abraham Lincoln here. You know the story. Hopefully he got 2 cents change more than he's supposed to and walked 20 miles back to give it. I think it was Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
There's the receipt for the first order for you. And then for the second order, just have the full Southwest 2 lime rib chicken salad with the frozen mocha and the fresh baguette. It'll be $16.76.
Got quite a crew there, so no wonder it charges so much.
Maybe the cruise because
There's at least 8 people working on the crew.
they have the.
So I got $3.24 for the change for the second one. And then if we're just about ready, we're just waiting on your drink.
Great.
Second. Alright, this is the chicken Caesar with the mac and cheese and the 2 French baguettes for you. Yeah, did you get 2 baguettes, sir, in your first order right there?
No, but that's okay. I don't need the second one.
And then here is the second one, and then we do have the drinks ready for you.
Great.
Strawberry smoothie for you, and the frozen mocha's on the way. There you go.
Looks good.
Yeah, it smells. It looks and smells really good.